Welcome to a world of thrills, a world of drama, of capes and tights, a world where death is a revolving door. Welcome to the Geek Matrix. There we are. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Geek Matrix DC Comics Review Show, episode number 218.
That's us. No, 220.
Yeah, that was not.
I
What?
bet you it's 220. How much you want to bet?
10 bones.
10 bones?
I'm almost positive.
Let's
There's
see. Let's
no
see.
way.
Episode 2. Oh, damn it, we're both wrong. It's 219. It's
Shit.
219. Episode
Okay,
219.
What happens? Do we both pay?
No, well now we both get out of paying. Oh, you know what happens? We both have to buy each other a McFarlane's figure. Damn it.
That's not $10.
I mean, it is if you get the right one.
Yeah, but who wants those?
Hey, excuse me, but like I have a few $10 figures that I quite like.
Again, here in the US, for me, those $10 figures are 40.
Boo.
I know. I agree. I also boo.
Well, that's
all
it.
right.
You know what I think we should do? We should open up a bootleg McFarlane business. Internationally, of course, so we can reach more people.
That's a fast way to get sued.
Yeah, and
If you want the fast track to jail time, that's well. That's
I mean,
actually
of
slow
course.
track to jail time, but still,
Of
it's
course,
jail
this
time.
was all just in jest.
As he disappears. All right, so this week is a heck of a week for comics. We have 4 books we are covering between Josh and myself, and they are all perfect jumping on points. We got 1 brand new universe, 2 brand new creative teams, and 1, well, it's not really a perfect jumping on points, but it brings a lot to a story that's been ongoing for a little over a year. Oh hell, more than that. It's been a year and a half because I've had 2 breaks. Yeah, poor Jeremy Adams. I say that, but maybe he's okay with it now. Point is, it's a episode of new stuff, and I'm excited to talk about it. Excuse me. I have no news.
I have no news as well. So no one has news. That's pretty new.
Oh, actually, I could bring up.
Oh.
Some of the things I bought recently.
Here's something that's new.
Oh, you got the Huntress. I need that for my.
I got the Huntress.
What the fuck happened to her?
And let me.
Oh, it's behind her body. I was gonna say.
It's behind her body. It's very flexible, double knee jointed, of course. The shoulders are good. There is a removable grommet in there that will help adjust the arm if needed. The wire cape is the bomb, of course.
A wire cape.
Excuse me. I'm sorry?
Wire capes are epic.
Yeah. Now, this one does have the... It's the first figure I have with the... Do that because I don't like to have to repose them until I want to repose them.
Yeah.
How do you get off of there? Get off of there. It's
the
faceplate. Yeah. And
I imagine Huntress is easier to take off than Manhunter.
Probably.
Yeah, Manhunter's a bit of a pain in the ass.
A little bit. The faceplate is cool. It does limit positioning, or at least it seems to, as far as moving up and down goes. But ultimately, I like it. I really like it. I feel like this faceplate is the only one that actually looks good. nothing against the mask. I just think that the face painting on the one with the mask just
Yeah,
doesn't look as good.
fair enough.
I wish all three of them looked as good as that. Now I got to put them back up here with Batwoman and Cassandra and Grifter kicking the hell out of Clayface.
Russell, welcome. Hey, God, I'm
Uh-oh.
getting a new job, and I'm going to be working with Russell.
Oh no.
Yeah. Wait, why do you say, "Oh no"?
Are you guys gonna be able to work together, or are you gonna be
I
busy
mean,
doing diving elbows off of the top rope?
that'd be fun. But I don't think I'll be working alone in my new position, so we'll be in the same building, and we'll commute together, but we won't be like next to each other the whole time, unless he
Okay.
decides to come and bug my station on days he's working slow.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Yeah. Uh.
Ladder matches.
They got 12-foot ladders there for ladder matches. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
I'll
I
I'll
want
play.
to.
I'll have a match with you for your AEW World Championship.
You know what? Obviously what needs to happen right here is an Edge versus Jeff Hardy rematch.
I'm not opposed to taking to giving someone a spear off a ladder.
Oh, you hear that? That makes you Jeff Hardy, Russell. Are you okay with that one?
I think he's more than okay with that.
I loved the Hardy Boys when I was growing up, man.
Growing up, they were awesome. I will
Hmm.
still every so often do a Jeff Hardy dance when his music plays, but I'll be honest, I'm one of those people that got over Jeff Hardy after a while. I just figured he should have stopped a while ago and just got off drugs.
Rob doesn't do drugs. Ah, that's why
Exactly.
he. That's why
Yeah,
he's got to be.
that's why I'm
That's why he's
Edge.
such. That's why he's such a. That's why he's such a CM Punk fan.
Straight Edge Society. uh,
So, yeah, right.
okay.
Because obviously, Russell, you do drugs.
He
Not bad
says he
ones.
does. I've never
Just
seen
ty-
him do
just Tylenol and heroin. That's it.
them.
I mean, he already has the shaved head, right?
So you're saying I should be Kurt Angle? I'll give you an Angle slam.
Ladies and gentlemen, the world's largest thumb.
Yep. Okay, so yesterday when I was out and about, I on a whim decided to pick up a compact comic from DC Comics.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
the bookstore near me had quite a few of them, and
Let's get
this
another
was
look at
one
that one.
that I'd never read.
Nice.
Brubaker,
Oh,
excuse me,
Brubaker's
yeah,
Catwoman.
Brubaker and Darwin Cook, Catwoman
That
from
is a very
2003, I
nice
think it was.
read. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I never read this. I figured I'd give it a shot, and I was always curious about how these compact comics looked and felt, and they're
Mm-hmm.
honestly really good. They are fairly small, but not so small that they're illegible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it's a nice little read. It's got a lot in here. It's got issues 1 to 9, plus an original graphic novel from Darwin Cook, and a bunch of Detective Comics backups that bridge both books. So
Can
the
you
OGN
can
and Catwoman.
can you show
So
me a page real quick?
it's got a lot of content in here. I don't know how well it's going to show up on the screen, but
So it's all right. So it's
yeah,
right on. Cool. All right.
yeah, it's
No,
a little
it's
bit bigger than manga sized. Like for example, I picked this up too. Here's a little cancellation special, right?
right.
So there's, for example, for you, an actual issue of a comic book. Here's the compact comics
Yep. So
lined up
it's
next to each other, right? So it's a little smaller,
yeah. It's
right?
like a 5x7 and a 4x3. Yep.
Yeah, it's actually, it feels great. It looks good. It reads well. It's a
You might need
great
glasses
idea.
if you are
No,
of if
it's
you are
not
of
that
a
bad.
certain age.
If you're a certain age, maybe.
Yeah.
Um, but it's not that bad, really. And lastly, on the weekend, I've been looking for it for the past couple of weeks, and I finally found it. I came across this on Reddit, and then figured I should find it because I was kind of curious. I picked up the latest issue of Pro Wrestling Illustrated.
Ah, no
Yeah,
kidding.
which
Wow,
is
man.
this. Yeah, this
I
issue
haven't seen
is
one
the
of those in
PWI
so long.
500. Right? I've never actually picked up an issue of this. I've seen them before when I wasn't watching wrestling. Then I forgot about it, but then I saw people on Reddit posting about their 500 wrestlers of the year, and specifically like the bottom, because the last one is hilarious. And I figured, yeah, maybe I'll check it out, see what's going on, see who makes the list, um, and see about all these other wrestlers I may have never heard of, right? And see
Right.
where my favorite wrestlers end up. But the 500th spot is saved for memes, literally just memes. But specifically,
I'm
they
sorry, the
showcase
whole magazine is just memes?
no, the 500th
Okay.
spot. The 500th
Oh, okay.
spot is for
Okay.
memes. But and Russell will appreciate this. They have a photo of Blue Cane.
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
Red cane, blue cane, gain, gain.
no, fuck Red Cane. Blue Cane and Gain. No, but Blue
What
Cane,
do you mean, fuck red cane?
he is super conservative and kind of eats Trump's ass.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate, but
You didn't know that, did you?
that's still a dorky shit face behind the mask. Kane was cool.
Yeah, like OG Kane back in the day, he was cool, but when they had him take off the mask, it was kind of dumb.
Yeah, then it was all gone. It's like, oh, wait a second,
Yeah.
it's the dentist again. Blue cane.
Blue Cane. Yeah, so Blue Cane is technically the 500th spot,
When he went
but
authority cane, yeah,
the whole thing is for
that was just
memes.
bad.
And that's what got me on this, and I picked it up, and most of the issue is like the actual 500, um, which I think it's pretty cool to see all this stuff. Do you want to know who's in the top 10?
Sure.
So at 10 is Mystico,
Nice.
right? Good choice. But he was also Sin Cara, which if you were watching wrestling during Sin Cara's tenure, you're wondering what the fuck he's still going. Number 9, Josh will not be happy about this. It's Gunther,
Boo.
Maringeral. He
Fucking
was
douchey.
number 4 last year, but now he's dropped down to 9.
Good. May he continue his disgraceful fall.
Yeah, I agree. Like, I'm surprised Mystico is that high. When I found out it was Sin Cara, I'm like, holy shit. Yeah, Sin Cara is a bit of a dickhead. Number 8, good old
Hmm.
Mox, John Moxley.
Okay.
Right?
I'm a
His
little surprised that, well, I guess.
surprise.
Well, I mean, I could see him being in the top 20, but not the top 10.
Well, his 2023 rank was 3rd.
Ah.
Yeah. Um, this guy, his 2023 rank at number 7. 2023 rank was 6th. But for this year, number 7.
Hold
MJF.
on. What? Oh, MJF, huh?
Well, what does that mean?
All right. Well, I was about to ask, what does botch mania mean? MJF just comes across as a douche that's trying to be a douche.
He's not actually a douche, but he is trying to be a douche. That's the thing.
Well, I mean, that much. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. He's not actually a
What
douche. He just plays one really well on TV.
what is botch mania?
I gotta show you Botchamania. It is a YouTube
Well,
channel that is devoted. And it's been going for like 20 years, and
cries
every
over a
two
spring
weeks,
finger.
yeah, that's Sin Cara. He
Ah,
rages over
yes.
stupid shit. But Botchamania is a
Gotcha.
YouTube channel that posts about he is Botchamania. He is the table. Now, so it they do a compilation of all the stuff in wrestling throughout the world that
Mm-hmm.
people like made a mistake on, or like flubbed a line or botched a move, um, and they make it funny, and they do it in certain ways respectably. And a lot of wrestlers even like watch Botchamania and love it, because it's all in good fun. It's all in jest. Most of the time, it is WWE and AEW, but they do get into some indie stuff as well. But I'll show you some Botchamania stuff. It's pretty funny stuff. Uh, but yeah,
Botchmania.
but the whole thing is like Sin Cara. I think what Russell's trying to say is like he botches a lot of shit. He fucks up a lot.
Then why
Wasn't
is
he
he
the
here?
one that messed up the springboard into the ring during an entrance one time?
Oh my god.
Yeah,
Dare
like he
I
jumped
say,
off the
not even
trampoline and then
Dominic
like landed on his
Mysterio
head.
would do that. Fucking.
Yeah, he's a bit of a
Like, wow, man.
in terms of wrestling, he's a diva.
Oh, so he's like Carlito, but never grew up.
Where are you getting this idea? How is Carlito a diva?
Carlito was a diva when he was back in the WWE. Everybody fucking hated him. Everybody hated him because he walked around act like he did. He didn't need to do ring practicing. He didn't need to do anything.
Oh,
Rick,
okay, I see what you mean.
when Ric Flair cut that in ring
That's
promo
not what I meant by
against
diva, but yeah,
Carlito,
yeah,
it was real and honest. Like Ric Flair, it was like he snapped.
yeah,
Yep. So Carlito, that's what happened to Carlito originally. Is like he was
yeah.
just walking around like a shit didn't stink.
And then he smartened up and came back to fucking fanfare.
Yeah. Well, everybody, all the fans loved him, right? It was
Yeah,
just backstage. Nobody. I guess he didn't
I
want
mean,
to
like
practice and shit. And
when back in the day when he had his first run, I didn't really care for him too much. But when he came back, I'm like, is that fucking Carlito? Holy shit!
right,
Like
it's
I didn't think he was
there
ever
and
gonna
the
come back.
apple. It's definitely Carlito.
Yeah, I spit in the face of those who don't want to be cool. All right, number 6, his 2023 rank was 71, so he jumped up a lot. It's
Wow.
Damian Priest.
Bum
Well deserved.
bum.
I suspect he's going to be the top 3 next year, but we shall see. I think he's a little bit older, but he's got a lot left in the tank, and I'm excited to see where he goes in the next year. Number 5, he was not listed last year, so this is interesting. It's I believe he's in New Japan. As Tetsuya Naito.
Hmm.
Russell might have a bit more of an idea with who that is. I'm not familiar
Maybe
with.
I'm the name. I've only catch like NJPW like sporadically on the Fight Channel.
Yeah, I don't get to. I don't really watch it a lot, so I'm not too familiar with a lot of the talent over there. Oh, but he
Yeah,
was part of Forbidden
honestly,
Door,
most of
so
that is part of Gryffindor.
huh?
What did you say?
No, he was part of Forbidden Door, so he was in the
Forbidden
cross
Door.
promotion.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
yeah,
Okay.
with AEW. Number
Yep.
4, last year he was ranked number 1, so it's a bit of a dip, but it's Seth Rollins,
Okay.
right? He's still up there. That makes sense.
I wonder if the visionary saw that coming.
Maybe. Last year at number 3, he was ranked 17, but this year at number 3, and this is the highest rank he's ever had, but this is
Drew
something that's
McIntyre.
always been impressive. Since his debut on the list in 2016, he has always been within the top 30, right? And this makes sense, and Russell's going to like this. Will Ospreay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
What did he rank at this time right now?
This year number 3.
Number 3.
Last year was 17. But since 2016, when he started on this list, that was his first time ranked on this list. 2016, he's always been within the top 30. Only dipping under 25 once.
Let's see if only I could get him to come to WWE because one
I don't want him
man
to.
isn't enough to get me to go watch Chris Jericho be flabby.
I don't want him to come to WWE because he will be wasted.
Not if they make the new show.
WWE is not going to treat him right.
They need to
Look at
make
how
the
they
new
booked.
show. Fuck that Twitter speed shit. You make a cruiser and a lightweight show, and then you make a fucking tags and trips show.
Make a cruiserweight show, so a show for
Cruiserweight
something
and
below mid card, and have Will Ospreay lead that show. That's not booking him right.
be the entire it's totally booking them right.
No,
He
he
inner
should be in main event
show
spot.
shit too. He would be against Ricochet. Bring them both up back to WWE.
But think about how WWE booked Ricochet. They fucked him over hard.
Because they didn't have Will Ospreay to fight him with. They did the wrong thing. They let Ricochet go when they should have bought Ospreay.
They did try, but Will Ospreay decided to go to AEW.
Well,
But
they should have paid more. God damn it!
Yeah, I from what I understand,
I guess they don't do that.
I think
anymore,
it was the scheduling. AEW provides a better schedule than WWE.
Fair enough.
Um,
I still think that they need to make Speed a full length show, and I think that they need to do a tags and trips show and have us covered Monday through Friday.
yeah, like a Wednesday show.
Yeah, Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Speed,
Tuesday night NXT.
Wednesday is NXT, Thursday
No.
would be
No. Tuesday's NXT, Wednesday's Speed.
okay, yeah, flipped them. Sorry. And then Thursday trips and tags, and then Friday SmackDown, Saturday night main event, and then Saturday and Sunday for PLEs.
Right.
You're welcome, WWE. Just do it.
Anyway, number 2. Now this was good. His 2023 rank was 112. At number 2, Swerve Strickland. Oh my god, well deserved.
Okay. Hell yeah.
He's killing it.
I've watched a lot of clips of him too, man. He is killing it. He's killing it.
Yep. Yeah, no, honestly, very well deserved. I think he's the current champion, isn't he? If I'm not mistaken.
Swerve Strickland?
Yeah,
He may be. He may be.
maybe. And finally, at number 1, the cover did kind of spoil it, but is also no surprise. Last year, his rank was number 10. This year, he's jumped up to number 1, and he's had a steady
Doink the
climb
Clown.
since 2007. Yes, it's Doink the Clown.
IRS.
It's Hurricane Helms. No, it is Cody Rhodes.
What a rush. The American Nightmare.
Yeah, there he is, right on the cover. It says he's
Bloop.
number 1. Yeah,
Well, I missed that. And it's backwards, so
you're backwards.
you're tiny on the screen.
Fuck you. As it says, 114 matches, 95% win-loss record, 1 epic story finished. So that's Pro Wrestling Illustrated's top 10. But it's not just top 10, it's top 500. Go check it out. We are not affiliated with them. It's the first time I've ever bought a copy. I just like it.
Like it a lot.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Yeah. Well, go check it out. If you're,
What
if
are
you're a
you
wrestling fan.
crinkling?
Sorry.
My
Sweet
goodness.
berries.
Mind your
forgot
microphone, man.
I forgot some mute. That bag is fucking loud. That's all I've got.
I have nothing other than Huntress.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got my JLA display going on, but I can't move it right now. So
I got my kids some Miles Morales action figures that they're gonna get for the holidays, but order stuff ahead of time, kind of situation there, and and they're gonna freak out. They both absolutely love anything into the Spider-Verse.
who doesn't?
However, their least favorite character out of the entire thing is Spider-Man 2099.
I knew you were going to say Miguel O'Hara. Because isn't he portrayed as the villain in the second one? I still haven't watched it. So. And they kind of
they're
made him a
great
major
movies.
dick.
Yes, they did. Which
So.
he kind of, I mean, he's not the nicest guy, but
No, he was always a little
he's
arrogant.
also not
he
a
was
bad
never
guy.
That much of a dick, yeah.
Right.
So, yeah. Well, that's about it. I just want to shout out Bad Blood over the weekend.
Hell of a show. Hell of a show.
Had one of the best matches I've ever seen, let alone just hell in a cell match.
Don't watch it
bloody,
if you're...
It was violent.
Don't watch it if you're squeamish. Do not watch it, not just because of the amount of blood, but because of the way that blood erupts out of Drew's head.
Yeah.
From a gash that requires 15 staples over 16. An hour later. 16 staples.
16 staples, yeah.
Over an hour. He gets over an hour later. That doesn't... That's a lot of blood. And it literally just goes... right out of the top of his fucking head.
Not quite Eric Idle in National Lampoon's Family Vacation, but
no, not quite.
Wait, was that Eric Idle? No, that wasn't Eric Idle, was it? That was one of the Monty Python guys.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember which one now, but. Yeah, it's not quite that bad, but blood does pour down his face a number of times. So yeah, if you're squeamish or you have a fear of blood, don't watch it. But if you are looking for something scary to watch this Halloween that's not a slasher flick, watch it.
I mean, I don't have a weak stomach at all, and that shit had me wincing a few times. I'm like, damn.
Yeah.
That's too much, man. That's too much for wrestling.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
they did it, and it turned out damn good.
Match. Yep. I am excited for tomorrow night's SmackDown. I'll say that. But yeah, that's about all I got.
Well, then that is all we've got.
Oh, and don't watch Joker Volley. Watch Transformers 1 instead.
Yes. If the internet hasn't informed you that enough, I think universally boycott Joker 2.
And watch Transformers 1 instead.
Yeah, go ahead, watch Transformers 1 instead. I understand that it is actually quite a good movie.
Yeah. It deserves a lot of praise. And it deserves your money.
Well, right on. All right, 29 minutes in, and we've done some talking. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial break right now. See you in just a second. Oh, okay. So that was like 5 seconds. But close enough, right? Oh,
why do I not disappear anymore?
Because you're not meant to.
What the fuck? Sometimes it wants to work.
To disappear.
Other times it doesn't. Sometimes I put my hand in front of my face. I disappear.
Yes, make your shirt disappear.
I don't get it.
I don't have any tips on how to make it work worse. Sorry.
That's fine. Point is, We're here to talk comics, and we're going to start off with honorable mentions. If
We are going to
Josh,
start off with a couple of with a
you want
couple of
those?
honorable mentions. DC versus Vampires World War V number 3, 8 out of 10. It stays the course for the quality, and Damien gets a little bit of unexpected help in this one. Again, 8 out of 10 for that one. Good book. Batman, excuse me, Gotham by Gaslight, the Kryptonian Age number 5, 8.5 out of 10. This is so good. And let's say that the showdown at the Suicide Squad Corral does not go the way it's expected to. That is all that we had for honorable mentions this week. And I suppose that means it's time to call action on the rest of the show. Fair enough. Right?
Yeah. Wait, one question before we continue.
Oh.
That's the wrong cover. There
Yo.
you go. Have you watched the episode of Futurama with Slurm?
I don't know.
That's going to be one of your favorite episodes.
Okay, I'll have to remember.
Calling it now.
I'm sure if you're saying that, I'm sure it'll make me comment something.
It is an episode
my
that
first
out there. Your first what?
No, you're cutting it out there. Your first what?
I don't know. I heard you say
is there a big delay or something?
And then I don't.
Oh no, I was saying it's my first purview into Futurama. That's what's going on.
Right.
That's why there's it's a big thing. Apparently, anyway, it's a big thing that I've not watched Futurama yet.
It is.
My wife couldn't even believe it.
For millennials and younger, yes, it's a massive thing that you've never seen Futurama.
It's like, what? I was doing stuff, man.
Clearly not the right stuff.
I mean, not the stuff I wish I was doing.
Yeah. No, so that episode with Slurm, while like most episodes, it stands the test of time, it is also a little dated because it makes reference to not only Willy Wonka, but also the Budweiser mascot from the 80s.
Okay. Spud McKenzie?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So now that you know that, going into it, you're going to laugh your ass off at that episode. And may also be grossed out a little bit.
Lovely.
Yeah. What episode are you on now? What's the last one you saw?
Whatever one I just told you about.
Oh, fuck, I don't remember what one that was.
Leela goes to
the robot mafia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not too far into it.
The Zubin cigar.
Yeah. But all right, let's call action on this one. All right. Roll this beautiful bean footage. Action Comics number 1070, written by Mark Waid, art from Clayton Henry with colors from Matt Herms, lettering from Dave Sharp, and a cover from Henry with Tomu Mori colors. The main story is Phantoms Part 1. Crawling out of the original Phantom Zone projector in Superman's Fortress of Solitude is a monstrously deformed Kryptonian, warped by the Phantom Zone, and one that he found a way to escape. It has the power of 3 Kryptonians, and it's just one him, so luckily Kara shows up and is Clark's backup, but it's still not quite enough. And Clark says it would rip up Keenan, Steel, Keenan, Steel, or Superboy. So Superman resorts to the one thing, one last desperate measure that can be used to take down the prisoner of the Phantom Zone, gold kryptonite. For those that don't know, gold kryptonite will permanently remove the powers from any Kryptonian. Clark flies to retrieve it, gets back, and then it gets knocked out of his hand. Thankfully, Jimmy is there to retrieve it, and just in time, he opens the can and the prisoner drops from the sky. He takes the three men to Kandor. He takes the three man to Kandor to keep him where they will try to ease his pain. It's like two legs, three arms, three faces, one mouth. It's really like I looked at it and said, "What in Swamp Thing's Green Earth is that?" Inspired that monstrosity. So the whole time that they were fighting, it turns out the guy from the Phantom Zone was screaming "Kill me" over and over and over again because of the amount of pain that he was in. So Kandor is going to help him deal with that pain. Clark knows that something is wrong in the Phantom Zone, obviously, and only he should go investigate it. So off he goes, and that is it for the first part. I just want to point out that this is fresh off the heels of our Too Hard Trivia Night, where one of the questions was about gold kryptonite. It is no longer a very old reference now. It is brand new. Haha.
Yep.
I hope Glenn picks this one up and recognizes that. But
I want to hear Glenn's thoughts about this.
I do too as well. Yeah, and Brandon's when he gets a chance.
Yeah.
Okay, so I enjoyed Gail Simone's story as it felt like this little one-off story I could enjoy. This feels like a comic strip. This feels like a weekly comic strip. The story is obviously, or at
Yeah.
least it seems so far, the story is a modern type with like circumstance, but there's something about it that feels like I'm reading a Superman strip on a Sunday afternoon in the comic section of the newspaper.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, I get that vibe.
I like that feeling. I like that vibe. I can tell that
Yeah.
it's modern threats with like this old feel. And at least from this one issue, I'll say that it makes me feel very similar to how Birds of Prey has been while I read it. A modern story with this undeniable classic feel to it that feels like I'm getting the best of both worlds. With Birds, a lot of the classic feel comes through the art, but here there's something about the atmosphere Wade made and the dialogue of Clark itself that makes it feel like a comic strip, but no corny dialogue. I wish World's Finest was this. This issue seems like I'm going to be happy with what comes down the pipeline. We'll see. I am very optimistic. And what did you think about the first part?
I honestly really liked it. I was expecting to see a bit more of the Phantom King and Mon El based off of the cover, but
Mm-hmm.
maybe that's they're coming down later in the story, or maybe that's just there to entice readers. I don't know. Um, but it like
Never trust a cover.
yeah, realistically.
Never
um,
trust a cover.
but after you said that, feels like reading a comic strip. Like that makes a lot of sense to me, and I didn't think about it before, but yeah, like it does, and it feels good. It's a straight to the point story. Um, there's realistically not much that happens here. Some freakazoid comes out of the Phantom Zone, and Superman and Supergirl have to take him down. And then Superman goes into the Phantom Zone to figure out what's going on, and that's how the issue ends. Like, okay,
Yep.
simple.
Very episodic, very quick, very
Yeah,
episodic. And I hope that's what it continues to be like. I hope that's what
yeah,
he was aiming for because, I mean, it came across that way and I liked it.
yeah. It read really well. It looked really good,
Hmm.
and like that first 2 pages gave me a shock face. Like, what the? is that thing?
Right.
Like, I had to turn the book around. Like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Yeah, I did. I was like sitting there reading, and it was like back up, right? It
Holy
was like
shit!
back up. What in Swamp Thing's green earth am I looking at? Holy hell!
Yeah, kudos to Clayton Henry for making that as horrific as possible. I
Right,
like it.
because
Yeah,
horror is not something I would ever associate with Clayton Henry.
or action comics.
Or well,
Really?
yeah, I mean, actually, right.
Yeah, but
Well,
no,
I
it
mean, I
was.
guess there was Doomsday, I guess, if that counts.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily like that. Maybe a thriller, but I wouldn't necessarily call that horror. It's not like he impaled people. He just beat the shit out of Superman. um, excuse me. But no, I enjoyed it. I'm going to give it for the first half anyway. Well, no, I don't score based on halves. I score based on the book. So we'll continue on to the backup
All
when you're
right. Well,
ready.
the backup is Supergirl in Where Are You Going, written by Mariko Tamaki, art from Skylar Patridge with Marisa Louise colors, and lettering from Becca Carey. Supergirl in this story seems to have developed the ability to psychically convince people of things and forget. I'm not sure where that came from, but honestly, today I'm not exactly what I would call my sharpest. So I might be forgetting some things. I don't know, so I can't argue anything. Probably not, but again, I can't argue anything. She's going around and she's making people forget that she was there, people that she's recently interacted with, including John Henry, with whom she gets a device from, and a liaison at the United Planets with whom she gets information from. She's about to leave, and Power Girl shows up, tries to stop her, and eventually Kara uses the forget power on her too before getting in her ship, wearing the strange earpiece from John, and setting off to wherever it is she feels she must go. And Clark seems to be the only other one that knows where, why, and what. So for me, now this is serious Kara. She's on a mission and she won't take any shit. She's willing to do whatever it is that must be done, no matter what. Not scared. I have to know where she's heading and what she took. And the art, I think, really matches the story. This feels like it is going to be. I'm all in on Action Comics. I gave it
Hey,
a I gave it a 9 out of 10, man.
right on. Yeah, this story, while it like I had an interesting connection to it. Like it was good. It read well. It gave us questions to answer, but it also felt like there should have been some prerequisite reading involved because it felt like it's part two of however many part story, not part one. Um, but that's I also have like I don't appreciate those types of stories sometimes because it makes me feel like I'm missing something, even though those questions will be answered by the end. But I don't like those so much, so it left a bad taste in my mouth as much as it was good.
I
Um,
don't like those either, but I came around eventually to a story that you did like, and I want to say it was Dan Jurgens that wrote it. It was a backup in a Superman book about a princess that comes and gets John. Do you know what I'm talking about?
oh yeah, but
And
that wasn't
I
that's
didn't
not
like
quite the
that at
same
all,
thing.
but that kind of changed my mind on it a little bit.
Yeah,
Because in that one, I feel like we kind of picked the story up in the middle of it too.
I mean, well, that one technically we did because it was in the middle of like 2016 Superman, right? But I don't know that one I think had a clear beginning, middle, and end. This one it feels like you start in the middle and it feels weird. Um, but I didn't hate it. Like I'm still like interested in the story to see what's going on, see what's happening, see where Kara is going. Uh, So we will see, I guess. But for now, I'm giving Action Comics number 1070 an 8.75.
Woo!
Yeah, I think 75 is fair.
8.75.
It was
Fair
going to be an
enough.
8.5, but I think 8.5 is a little more fair. A little more
Well,
absolute, if you will.
oh,
A.
there we go.
Right. Just let me. What the fuck? Let me find the credits. What the? Oh shit! I thought they were at the beginning.
It was written by the writer.
Yeah, drawn by the artist,
Colors were provided by
a colorist, I assume.
very, very good.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. That's a longer issue than I thought. So this was Absolute Batman #1 as part of the All In initiative. This is being described by Josh as the most important release of the year.
For me, it is
Yeah,
like
for Josh it is.
I'm a big, huge, ginormous Batman fan. Half of the reason why I read comics is because of Batman. Scott Snyder is someone I am a big fan of,
Yeah.
and I haven't liked anything that I've seen so far. So going into this book
Oh, like
was
okay, the preview stuff
the
you mean? I was gonna say.
the the preview stuff that I've seen of Absolute Batman. Going into
Yeah,
this book was pretty much going to determine whether or not I would be able to fully enjoy the Absolute universe, if at all, with Batman because of just what the character means to me. So
fair enough.
that much was weighing in on me. Now tell me all about it.
Okay, so this was written by Scott Snyder with art from Nick Dragotta, colors from Frank Martin, and letters from Clayton Cowles. Who, god damn, does he do every Batman book? Is like in his contract? Like shit.
I think
Yeah. All right, so we are starting fresh here. This is a brand new Batman. For those that are not in the know, Absolute Batman is spinning out of last week's DC All In special, um, supposedly taking
Darkseid created
place.
his Dark Earth, or what's it called?
Yeah, the Elseworld, Earth Omega, something like that. I don't think it's been officially named yet, but
Earth
those are the names
Omega.
that were thrown around.
Earth
Um,
Omega, because yeah, because it first showed up in Infinite Frontier, right?
yeah, but
Yeah, it was
Superman
Earth
during the
Omega,
All In special also called it the Elseworld.
the Elseworld.
The
Well, I don't
Elseworld,
like
right?
that.
I don't mind. I dig it. I don't hate it. But
That
we'll
limits
see.
what
We'll
can.
see. Like
Anyway,
could just be double named. Anyway, so this is a brand new universe, brand new Batman, and you start off with Bruce on a Gotham Zoo class field trip.
wait a second. I do like it. By calling that the Elseworld, when they do bring back the multiverse, they could be referred to as Elseworlds, which would make Elseworlds stories part of main continuity. I love that. It's
There you go.
beautiful.
There you go. And that's why Elseworlds are back.
Oh,
Excuse
sorry,
me.
back. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Dun, dun, dun.
All right, so Bruce is on a class field trip to the Gotham City Zoo, where he does see the bat habitat. Coincidentally, um,
Coincidentally.
his dad, Thomas
Who's
Wayne,
dead?
his dad,
Sorry. I'm sorry. You know what, guys? I'm
Bruce's
quitting
dad.
smoking. I'm quitting smoking. I haven't had a cigarette in I think 5 days.
You got
At
this.
that point where I have decided, like when I go to quit smoking, I could do one of two things. I can either be incredibly grouchy and angry all of the time, or I can just be
A
goofy
dick.
and weird set on 11.
Which
And
is better. That's a
in
better choice.
theory, in theory,
In
but
theory.
it's the one I roll with. So if I come across as annoying or aggravating or why is he doing that, then it's just because I'm quitting smoking, and you probably only have to deal with it for the next year or so.
Don't worry, we'll chug on through it. Don't you worry.
Chugga, 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 choo, choo.
If you're quitting
See?
smoking,
Like that.
there's a good way to get around it. Is take up drinking.
I love smoking
hang,
when I drink.
hang on. What are you putting in your mouth right now?
This is a straw stuffed with
Okay,
cock.
okay. I was gonna say, you just said you're quitting smoking. What the fuck are you
Yep.
doing?
I don't have anything at all that I'm using as a cigarette substitute.
Yeah,
So, sorry. Got a little weird. That's why.
that's what helped me. But also, don't take up
Don't be a
drinking to quit
Jeff Hardy and
smoking.
relapse.
Yeah,
I will do my best, Russell. I promise,
yeah.
man. Ugh,
By the PTA or PSA, not
Papa
PTA,
candies.
PSA. Definitely don't take up drinking to quit smoking. That was a joke. It's a bad idea. Don't take me seriously.
So
Almost
replace
ever.
replace one crutch with another one.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah,
But
I just
back to
like doing them
Absolute
together.
Batman.
Absolute Batman. Absolutely.
Right. Sometimes that's the best. So we have a man driving through Gotham
Always.
City on a motorcycle who
Do you hear that?
is,
Russell wants to start a wrestling podcast.
well, Russell, nothing's stopping you. Josh is free. You two should start one. I'd listen.
We can't figure this out in the middle of a podcast episode. All right. Absolute Batman, absolutely.
Yes. Okay. Back to the bloody book. So we have a man driving through Gotham City on a motorcycle, wearing a helmet, so we don't know who it is, but the monologue going around him is uh, kind of hinting that he's been in Gotham City before, but it is a very different Gotham City from what he remembers. He eventually arrives at a corner store grocery. Um,
What?
where he goes in to get some tea, which is the best tea in the city, according to him. And this man is none other than Alfred Pennyworth, albeit a little bit of a grim, darker Alfred Pennyworth, because this Alfred Pennyworth is a secret operative who had to leave his mission overseas to assassinate a target to then be brought to Gotham City due to the rise of crime wave from a gang called the Party Animals, who have been slaughtering the citizens um, multiple times over, including police officers, and just causing like all around like a muck, if you will, just a major fucking ruckus, destruction and death everywhere where the Party Animals go. So Alfred's new mission is to go there and to gather as much intel as possible, except for the fact he is told by his handler that there is another player in town that they've only caught glimpses of, and these glimpses seem to be the shape of a bat. Hint, hint. So he heads out into the world,
Hmm.
finds his motorcycle was stolen because it's Gotham fucking City.
Durr. Even though he was like, "Oh yeah, sure, I'll just leave my bike over there. Don't worry about it." He gets
Yeah,
warned and everything.
yeah.
That's what you get for
And
being
then
cocky, man.
here it is, gone. Meanwhile, over at Croc's Gym, that is very deliberate. We find a man hitting
Indeed.
a boxing bag, and you think it might be Bruce Wayne, but then no, Bruce Wayne does come over, and this Bruce Wayne is huge. This Bruce Wayne, instead of just hitting the punching bag, beats the living shit out of the punching bag to the point that it breaks. It's just with loud booms. It's crazy. And then we get a bit of a flashback through every punch he's giving. The punching bag back to that day at the zoo with his father as the teacher, how he's just cracking jokes until they hear a gunshot. Um, and a bit more on that later. We'll see after he busts open the punching bag, the owner of the gym, Waylon Jones, aka in the regular continuity, Killer Croc, in this world is just a regular guy with serious reptile pet addiction, if you will. He's holding a crocodile and a snake. Um, but he's also friends with Ozzy,
Actually, that's
otherwise
an
known
American
as
alligator.
You're an
Just
American
saying.
alligator.
Or feed me, Seymour.
No, that's a plant. Yeah, he's friends with a man named Ozzy, which we can only assume is Oswald Cobblepot, which Bruce is also friends with. And at a certain point, Bruce does promise to pay him back as soon as he gets paid for the punching bag. Waylon also asks him where he's been for poker night because he's been missing it. Eddie, Harvey, and Oz have been asking, even trying to get Selena to join up. And then at the end, when Bruce walks out, says he's busy, we see a little photo of a bunch of kids, and that would include Bruce, Selena, Edward Nigma, Waylon Jones, Harvey Dent, and Oswald Cobblepot. They were all childhood friends in school together. So there's a big change.
I got friends in
Yep.
old places.
We then
Don't
jump
think
on over
about
to a
Mary.
massive cruise ship, which I'm only assuming is a cruise ship with very loud music playing. We eventually find out that this ship belongs to none other than Roman Sionis, who is the leader of the party animal gang. He is being he's having dinner with Maroni and Falcone, because they are there to say, like, you're invading our turf, your shit's causing a ruckus. There's rules to this city. I know you're new here, but you better get
Oh,
the fuck out.
behave.
And then the Roman goes into a whole thing about masks because that's his shtick. Showcases all these masks he's collected over the years. There's one about Martin Luther and Socrates and George Washington, and then, oh, look, Mr. Maroney, there's your brother. Oh, and Falcone, there's your cousin. And
Right.
then Maroney gets two knives to the eyes, and Falcone gets a string to the neck, and they get killed off. So Roman is there to fucking stay and
Yeah.
has a serious fetish for human masks. The guy is fucked up.
And I mean his mask looks like okay, so like a gray alien. Imagine if a gray alien was like the alien version of the devil, and that devil alien was a leather daddy. That's what his mask looks like.
You just keep going. It's the bottom half is skull, the top half is black bubble. It's really fucking weird. Um, yeah. Oh, Brady, not sorry, Russell wants to know how much that giant Batman in your background was.
This one right here. That was actually, I want to say, $90.
So that's probably closer to 120 Canadian.
Yeah, it was probably about 120 Canadian in that area. It
Anyway,
was a
back to
gift.
back
I
to the
did.
book.
Hold on. I didn't buy that. That was a gift. just so that we're clear on that.
Yeah.
But all right, back to the comic.
Back to the book. So Bruce, now we see, is suiting up as Batman as we get more news reports of the machinations of the party animal gang. There's terrorizing the city, and causing a lot of bullshit. And then jump over to a city hall press conference where Mayor Jim Gordon is addressing the city about what's happening with the party animal gang and how the citizens want him to do more, and how the previous mayor would have been way better. But yet, they are interrupted by a flashbang, and in comes the party animal gang. But the party animal gang is then whisked away by some weird cape thing. Hint, hint. The door
Cape
slams
thing.
shut. Um, Jim Gordon's daughter, Barbara, who is a police officer, goes to the window to see what's happening, And out pops Batman and says, "Whatever you hear, do not open that door." The whole time, Alfred Pennyworth is watching from a nearby rooftop as he's being told, "Do not engage with the party animals, just gather intel. And if that other player shows up, engage in that other player." He does not like those orders, but he's not going to follow them because he's a rebel. I don't know. Because he's watching Batman engage as it's happening. And he knows Batman is going to take care of the party animal gang, or at least he wants to gather intel and hope that he's taking care of the party animal gang and see what this man has to offer. But he also doesn't want the party animals to murder a whole bunch of people. So he's going to let this play out, despite the fact that his handler is telling him to intervene. Uh, so this new Batman has pretty much a bulletproof cape because he's wrapped himself around it and bullets are bouncing off it. Drops a smoke bomb and then goes to town on these guys. This cape seems to be super prehensile, almost acts like a whip, where he's able to wrap them around people and throw them like they're nothing. Even goes super rigid like stilts and use that to hold himself up while he double kicks people in the face. And he makes quick work of these guys. The ears on top of his cowl double as knives. And then this big guy with no sleeves shows up with a machete. So Batman pulls out some kind of wrench from his utility belt, attaches it to the bat emblem on his chest, pulls it off, and now it's a fucking battle axe. Or he chops off the guy's hand, and then using the power of fear and energy, or whatever, spikes grow out of his cape as he yells people to get the fuck out of my way. So they all run off, but Alfred, ever the smart man, laid a trap for the party animal gang at the foot of the steps, and that trap is an explosive device which he sets off, taking out a whole bunch of the gang members. And then he heads down to the ground, finds Batman, points a shotgun at his head. Then Batman kicks him in the chest, steals the shotgun, and whisks himself away. Um, Over the next day or so, Alfred is trying to track him down as we get a bit more of a background on what happened that day at the zoo. There was a shooter at the zoo killing people left, right, and center. Um,
But not behind, so that was good.
what?
He was just killing left, right, and center, not
Center, yeah,
behind.
but not behind. Yeah, yeah.
See,
um,
jokes are only gonna get worse for a while, buddy.
Fair enough. So Thomas Wayne, being the great teacher that he is, gets the children to safety inside the bat enclosure and then seals the door behind them because he's holding it shut, making sure that the shooter does not get inside to save the kids' lives. Bruce is left to watch as his dad is stuck on the other side of the door. The gunman finds him, kills him, but the kids are safe. So Bruce is now left without a father, but his mother is still alive. The whole time, Alfred is gathering as much intel as it can and kind of pieces together that it is Bruce Wayne is this mysterious Batman, and even tracks Bruce Wayne to where he ends up at his home where his mother is waiting, who is also um, somewhat of a politician and is working alongside Jim Gordon. They head in together to the house as Alfred decides maybe just let this go. Later on, at the top of building overlooking the city, I say that loosely because it's kind of above cloud cover. Bruce is inside his quote unquote bat cave, which is really just his base of operations where he has all his computer equipment. Alfred has infiltrated. Um, Bruce realizes this, quickly gets suited up as Batman, and gives him his shotgun bullet first. Except he modified the shotgun where the bullets instead just shoot out tiny little batarangs, and they're non lethal. So He then takes off with Alfred's motorcycle because he's the one that stole it and drives right out the fucking window.
Yeah.
Alfred wonders where the hell is he going to land? Well, he doesn't need to because he's goddamn Batman. Um,
He's a
this
hundred
Bruce,
stories in the air.
yeah, but I
One
think
thousand 1,000 feet.
I could be wrong, but I think the cape is able to like convert itself into a gliding feature. I don't remember. The point is
There's
this
there's
this
there's no
Bruce
telling what it
is
can do so far.
exactly. This Bruce grew up with basically genius level intellect. He's heavily an engineer, and he made this prehensile cape himself, so it can do all sorts of stuff. Um, it's also basically worked his way through university, learning as much as he can. He did not travel the world because he was never rich, but he learned all these techniques kind of locally. Um, but he's just as skilled as regular Batman, I would say. In fact, maybe
Um,
even more so because he's got this epic fucking cape.
I
uh, on the
mean,
last page, a little
this one
epilogue.
only knows two martial art styles,
I
and
mean,
it's
that
not
Alfred
hinted
mentioned.
right that he mentioned.
Yeah, there
That's
could
fair
be
enough.
more.
But he really did apply himself into learning everything that he could about Gotham City.
Yeah,
Um, what's it? It lists everything: applied mechanics, chemistry, criminal psychology, military theory, socio-cultural history. And then he worked at the electric company, water department, sanitation, interned at City Hall, and then became an engineer.
yeah.
Like
He
it's a
fixes the things
very,
he destroys as well. When
yeah, it's
he's working as Batman and something gets broken, like a lamppost or a sidewalk or something, the next day he's there helping to fix it for work.
for work.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's quite interesting.
so he breaks shit and then gets paid to fix it.
Yeah. What a trip. And a last page epilogue. Um, Alfred is then giving a report to his handler, and then his handler fills him in on his previous targets, which they then lost somewhere in the Philippines, and now he's in the wind. Um, and then we see in Manila, this man is getting on a flight, private flight. Nobody knows his real name because all the names he was given were fake. Jack or Arthur, nobody knows his real name. But he's one of the 30 richest men on the planet. But the only name that people call him is, well, simply because he doesn't laugh at anything ever. So they call him the Joker.
Right? Tells him not, don't even joke.
Yeah,
He doesn't like jokes, so they call him the Joker.
exactly.
Well,
Which
what do you think,
is
man?
weird, but I dig it. Um, I honestly don't know how to feel yet. Like it was interesting, but like we've also read dark versions of Batman before, so it's hard to really give it a good vibe. It doesn't have hang on, doesn't have that big story gravitas that I was hoping for.
Hmm.
Um, like I imagined Wonder Woman or Superman might have it bigger or better anyway. But we've had dark, gritty versions of Batman so many times before. So it's not like it doesn't stand out. It definitely has things that make it stand out, but it also feels like we've had something like this before, so it doesn't stand out as much as it could have, you know?
Right. It feels like an to me. I almost get like a the different kind of feel that Dark Detective had during when that was out. How it
Yeah.
didn't feel like a regular Batman book. This almost has that exact same feel to it, where it's like alt universe, but still somehow close. And I'm with you, man. I don't know how to feel about this at all. I'm sorry, I
Yeah.
interrupted you again for before you gave your score
Oh, that's fine. Remember, we discuss.
there.
um, but yeah, I liked it. I dig it. There's stuff I really like. I like the subtle differences. I like the changes. I like the cape. I'm curious to see more. I want to know more. I'm just curious how much of a hit this is going to be because it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't stand out as much as it should have. I think they might be trying really hard, if not too hard, to make it stand out. That it might get a little too silly at times while trying to stand out, right? Like the battle axe, as cool as that was, that also felt like a little over the top
Yeah,
and just
like
like
a
an effort
lot.
to like this is Batman, but it's no Batman you've ever seen before. He cuts people's hands off. Like, okay, so he just doesn't cut his own hand off.
Right.
Yeah,
Which that's
it's
good.
it's interesting.
Yeah, he doesn't cut his own hand off.
Yeah,
Ah, I
yeah.
forgot. That's funny because
But
regular Batman did.
exactly. I all in all, though, I liked it. I'm curious to see more. I'm willing to see where it goes. I will be reading it going forward. Hell, I think I'm going to be I think I'm going to have to because I think we're covering this going forward. Because supposedly this is going to tie into an overall story, so we really should.
Eventually, it will.
Um,
Darkseid is a primordial force. He is a universal constant. There can only be one dark side at a time, but there must always be a dark side. He's just over there running shit on planet Omega
yeah, which I am very curious
for now.
uh, if that
And
is the
Booster's
same
over there.
world that well, if it is the same world we saw at the end of the All In special.
Is
How
it?
does that translate? Because that world that Booster ended up on is very different from this world so far, right?
Yeah. Uh huh. And
So
I think that these three and then the eventual ones that will follow are all on that planet Omega.
with no
Because
mention
while
of Darkseid or an Omega symbol or the Legion of Superheroes.
at that particular moment, no.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sure that that it will be worked in.
Yeah,
But I don't see a reason why we would be introduced to this whole new dark side world and then that we get these big huge characters and none of them are actually on that world. That would just be total mismanagement of a storyline to, to me. Um, so Alfred Pennyworth, big badass looking dude, works for MI6. He's obviously a top dog because he can just do what he pisses off and wants for 5 years. Um, he shows up and says, "My name is Alfred Pennyworth, and I'm here to do some bad things." Oh
I'm here
boy.
to kick ass and chew bubble gum, and I'm all out of ass.
Right. If I'm being honest, I'd really prefer to chew ass. So Bruce boxes at Wayland's gym. That's funny. The fact that he's friends with his General Rogues Gallery. That's kind of funny. Uh, comes from basically a normal background. Doesn't have a lot of money. He did all of that stuff we talked about earlier. Worked at all of those places and studied all of those things. And he's 24 years old. That's a bit of a. That seems really young.
Wait, did
To
they mention? They mentioned 24. I don't remember that.
yes, yeah, they
Oh
mentioned
shit.
it. Pennyworth says it. Um, so that stuff's fine. Near genius, okay. Skilled, very, very highly skilled in two forms of martial arts and very incredibly skilled, like surgically skilled with a knife. Um, like the book says, high friends in low places. He's got a damn good motivation for turning into a vigilante. He also
Yeah.
has a hell of a weakness because his mom didn't die. But I've got the chess piece turning into a battle axe. I have this cape that I can't tell if it's tensile. If does it have it is it if, are the ends whip like, or do they like operate like a tendril? Um, I see that it was intentionally drawn to show that the cape was bulletproof, but when he opened the cape, they were still firing guns at him, so I guess the entire suit is bulletproof.
Maybe.
Um, uh, the spikes that he has shoot out of him are like it's like Batman Doomsday suit. Um, those are actually kind of cool. We're going for a ragey Batman, so I dig those. Um, he's got no problem violently maiming people. It's there's key aspects that I would really like to see. Um, all these little nods to these behind the scenes things uh, work for the story, but um, I really don't know how to feel about this as it stands right now.
Yeah.
Um, it also makes me wish Scott Snyder was writing a Midnighter book right now.
Hell yeah. That'd be cool.
That would be really cool. I don't know why I never thought about that, but to put it in Scott Snyder's vernacular, Snyder writing Midnighter would be totally metal
Yeah.
for
No, I
sure.
agree. That'd be cool. Um, I'm for now. I'm gonna give it an 8 because I need to see more to really get a vibe for this book. But I like what I've seen so far.
Yeah, I don't even know what to give it. I read it yesterday. I read it today. I still don't know what to give it, Rob.
Yeah, it's hard to score this one because it's I imagine especially for you because like you said it's going to be the biggest release of the year for you. It has a
it,
lot on the line.
it is. It had, again, okay, so it's got some interesting story elements to it. The digging through it. I think he's a little young, but okay, 24, fine. That allows the character to carry on for a while.
Yeah.
Um, and he's in optimal prime physical shape, so I suppose that helps. The fact that he's built like a rhinoceros also does, and he's as fast as a fucking cheetah. Uh, so he's like Eric from the Vikings in WWE,
Oh yeah.
which is really weird, but I guess that works. I can't see him in a cape, but I don't know, man. It's like something is there that could be a great story, and I just don't know how I like. I literally don't know how I feel about this. Um, I've never been this indecisive, like in my life. Uh, I don't know if I can give this a score I'm happy with.
You can leave a question mark for now. We can do that a couple times a year.
I've never done that before. We're 219 episodes in. Plus, I've done shit tons of other shows and bonus episodes, and never done this before. But I think what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to wait and rate this one cumulatively with issue number two.
Yeah, I think that's perfectly fair. I think it's like we said, it's really hard to get a feel for the story so far with the first issue because there's a lot of content being
Right. This.
thrown at you in this first issue. It's hits the ground running in a way. It's like, here, take this, take this, take this, take this. Here's this change. Here's where this character is. Here's what these guys are doing. This what this does, and it's like, okay, this is a lot, and
Right.
you're trying to tell the story at the same time.
Right. This isn't like alt universe like Gaslight or White Knight. This is like something totally different. When Snyder said that, he was not kidding.
Yeah,
And I just as stupidly decisive, like to the point where sometimes even I know it's bad. As I can be about things, I don't know how to feel about this. So I'm gonna have to wait till next month for a score for this one.
yeah. Which I'll be honest, I never thought would happen that you would have to like revisit a book to give a score, but here we are.
Yeah, I mean it's not because I don't want to. I want to. I just don't know how to. I
Yeah,
don't. I don't like. Is this
I get that.
okay? Is this average? Is this really good?
I
I
think it's
can't tell.
good. It's just hard to get a beat on it right now.
Maybe.
Like I said, it's trying to stand out, and it does stand out, but maybe not in the best way possible. Um, and it's trying to stand out above the other books that came before it that did the same thing. It's
It's
awkward.
Scott Snyder. It's gonna be big.
Yeah,
It's just whether or not the big will work.
exactly.
Got
Uh,
lots of faith in him though.
yeah.
But
I,
yeah.
for
So
one,
like,
am curious if they're ever going to do a Robin.
oh Robin. Oh, in the absolute universe,
Yeah,
that's an interesting question.
but for now, at least we have a main continuity Robin.
We do. We really, really do.
I was wondering if you caught my my subtle transition there.
I did. I
Yep.
really, really did.
Right
And
on.
it's that cover. That's the one. That is the one I am looking for. Batman and Robin number 14, written by Philip Kennedy Johnson. Art from Javi Fernandez with colors by Marcelo Malo, lettering from Steve Wands, and a cover by Fernandez with Dave McKeag. There's a clock running throughout most of this issue, so I'll keep that going. The issue starts out at 6:49 p.m. with a spectacularly drawn car chase, with Batman and Damian chasing down members of the Order of the Green Knight, as is currently seen in Poison Ivy, and they're speeding through Gotham streets with a live car bomb. They, of course, stop them. At 7:35, while bandaging himself up, Bruce hears from Oracle about a fundraiser that they are attending that may have some issues. 45 minutes later, Bruce is showing up in Damien's room with a gut-loaded dinner and telling him that they are leaving at exactly 8:38 p.m. On the way out, Damien happens to notice a chessboard that's set up in the last moves of a game between Bruce and Ra's al Ghul, that is, Damien's grandfather. Damien wants to know why, and Bruce just says, "Don't touch it." Um, Bruce and Damien later arrive at the function at exactly 9:01 p.m. to the usual fanfare. In the near distance, a man is yelling about Bruce sitting atop the wheel that eventually will grind him down and kill him. All men die, Wayne, even you. Memento mori, which pretty much means, like, literally, you're not immortal, you will die. Bruce gets a call from Oracle about the guys from outside being involved in lower floor gunfire, and he doesn't have time to change into his suit, so he uses blackout technology to zap the building and cover himself. Cool. He fights his way through the group of henchmen using the darkness as his mask, and then makes his way into the long defunct boiler room, which is now mysteriously on fire. He briefly wonders why and who, but finds out quickly. It's someone that calls himself Young Jack, someone that he remembers from his past, named Atticus Bligh, and he recites a poem. And I feel like there's something here that I should know. Young Jack, how long I've searched for thee, where stood a boy, a man I see. Now let our game begin again in Gotham town across the sea. Now, son, reap what sire has sown, and pay the cost in blood and bone. I now engrave on meager grave, memento mori, written stone. So Bruce is looking at this guy all super terrified. Upstairs, where Damien was left to defend all of the people if something happened, well, it gets blown up. Kablooey. Kaboom. Kaboom. And we see Damien go flying. He was on the very outskirts of the gathering and the explosive, so he should be okay. Almost no one else looked like they were on the outskirts, though, so like feels like there's going to be a lot of legs and arms lying around. So, and then that's the issue. This issue makes sure that the art starts off with one hell of a bang.
Yeah, literally.
I forgot to do the sound effect. Damn it. It's interesting. It feels different, and add that to this strange new villain. I'm more than curious enough to sign up. So far, this seems great. The art, there's not that many panels I didn't like here. The inks and
Yeah.
the coloring worked pretty good. No major complaints. The Atticus Bligh guy, he looks like he's wearing this Victorian getup, the long coat, the long cape on top, and all of that. And he's either got a really super white face or a creepy ass mask. I can't tell yet. As far as who he is, there's Uncle Jack and Atticus from To Kill a Mockingbird. And then My Boy Jack is a poem from Rudyard Kipling about his missing son. But I don't know anything else famous with Atticus and Jack. I can't recall Atticus Bligh from any comics before, so I cannot think of any other clues to figure out who the fuck this might be. I am looking forward to number 15.
Yeah.
I gave this an 8.25 out of 10.
Yeah, I was quite smitten with this book. It was very interesting, really well done. Uh I'm still stuck on that whole thing of the chessboard. Like writers when they include a brief scene like that, it almost always has a purpose later on.
Uh huh.
Um so I'm curious what the purpose is going to be for that in the future. Is it going to be a callback where Raish is, hey, he's alive again? Like,
Right. That, like, at the very end of this big arc that we're in the middle of, that might take two arcs to get through. He looks down, and a chess piece has been moved,
or he
and that's how we know Raish is alive.
well, not necessarily. I would say because remember he said they often leave notes for each other after each meeting to say this is where I moved this piece, right?
Well, after
And
every
that's how they
battle,
play the
right?
game. Yeah. So I imagine Bruce is going to get a note. It's
Okay.
either that or it's going to be a case of him and Damien have a father son moment where Damien takes over the chess game and they play together like that. Um, but like we'll
That
have to
would
see.
be a
Like,
cool if the dialogue is, and shit is done right. I'd be cool with that.
yeah.
As long
Um,
as it's not
but
cheesy, like the forced family moments that we were getting.
they're not
Um,
forced. They're adorable.
they're not adorable. They were forced. I've seen
You're
better emotional.
forced.
I've seen better emotional writing in Total Drama Island.
I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Doesn't mean the emotion here is
I'm
bad.
aware.
um, Now, I liked it though. On the end of the day, I think that chess board is going to have a bigger point to the story later on, but we'll have to see.
I agree.
This
I
whole
think you're
this
right.
whole thing reminds me of James Craddock, Gentleman Ghost.
Hmm.
If that name doesn't sound familiar to you,
Yes, yes,
but
yes.
I don't think it's necessarily to do with him, but it's just like that whole like this dead spirit from a Victorian time. Um, it's come back to haunt people. That has the same kind of vibe to me. So like whoever this spirit may be, it definitely has something to do with the guy that died in the boiler room, I imagine. So
Yeah.
yeah, I like the
I
new
guess he
direction. I
likes
like the new
poetry.
story. Yeah, I mean poetry was all the rage back then. It's not like they had Reddit, so
Right?
it's not like they had YouTube or anything or fucking movies. They had poetry. Um,
That they did.
yeah, so I liked it. I am giving it an 8.75 out of 10.
All right, our scores are rather close, and
Yeah.
we were both able to stay completely civil.
Uh,
So, would you like to move us on to the next book, kind
yeah,
sir?
it is our last book of the week. This is the Green Lantern Civil Corps Special #1.
I'll
And
be
if you've been
right
reading
back.
Green Lantern, this has been the release of the year for you. All right, so this is written by Jeremy Adams and Philip Kennedy Johnson, with art throughout the book from Salvador LaRocca, colors from Luis Guerrero, and letters from Dave Sharp, with the cover, which you will see when Josh gets back and changes it, from Brad Walker and Trish Mulvihill. So we pick up not exactly where we left off anywhere, but John and his sister Ellie, as a construct form, are having a race through the skies and just having a bit of fun. Also, meanwhile, giving a bit of a backstory on the new ring and what John's intentions are going forward, spinning out of what happened in Green Lantern War Journal. Meanwhile, they do run into a mysterious being in the sky in front of them, surrounded by yellow energy. John gets blasted after he seems to be shocked as to who it is that's arrived. He gets blasted multiple times, where Ellie is able to help slow him down. Uh, and as we see, it's none other than Kilowog, who is alive and
Say
is now
what?
in a yellow Lantern uniform instead of a
Say
Green Lantern uniform.
what?
You know,
Uh,
realistically though, his uniform hasn't changed much except for the color, and now it's got that weird Sinestro Corps armband around the side. Um, but this Kilowog all recognized John and has one mission only. He wants the Dark Star ring, which he does get from John, and then blast John
yeah,
unconscious. And then we jump to
rather
12 a
easily
room
too.
with Hal. Huh? Yeah, I mean,
I said
I get it
rather
because
easily
John
too.
probably didn't want to. Is that a reference? Am I missing something?
No, no. I mean, like even John later on says that he was pretty much able to just walk right over him.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like I was saying, like it's. I imagine John also didn't want to fight Kilowog too much, so didn't have the
Let's be
fortitude
honest. Who
at
really
the
wants
same
to fight
time.
Kilowog?
Yeah, really. um, all right, so 12 hours later, John wakes up in a room with Hal, Guy, Shepard, and Carol. We find out this room is actually on the Justice League Watchtower satellite, more specifically, the Green Lantern wing of the Watchtower, which I think is really cool that each group really gets their own kind of wing if need be, or at least the Green
Right?
Lanterns get a wing. I think that's dope as fuck. I,
It is dope as fuck. They get
yeah,
their home, they got the Earth base and the Green Lantern space station in the Watchtower. Guy
yeah.
Gardner, guy.
Like, so I can just hang out here whenever I want.
Right?
Sure.
That was awesome.
Yeah. These Jeremy Adams and Philip Kennedy Johnson, they have good voices for Guy Gardner. I like it.
They've got good voices for the entire core.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, the characters that we've seen them write so far.
yeah, so far. Um, right, so Hal
Far.
does let slip
Oof.
um that Guy was the one well, Ellie found Guy and got him there. But Hal mentions that he's glad that they caught them before they left for Thanagar, which John overhears and then asks about Thanagar. Um, and then they say later, what happened with you? And he says Kilowog. So then later on, after John catches them all up as to what happened with Kilowog and the Yellow Spectrum and how he seemed to be possessed, uh, they then get into the whole thing with Thanagar. But Carol also reveals that she's back in the Star Sapphire ring and uniform and
Ta-da!
seemingly is a superhero. Which Guy mentions might be a worse mistake than dating Jordan. Yeah,
That's
which
yeah.
so many great lines from Guy Gardner this issue, which then Hal reveals, "Look, I'm not done. Take a look outside. I've got more surprises." And outside the door is Jadestone, the Amazo from Absolute Power, which, and now thanks to the power of willpower and the Starheart, I guess,
Yeah,
is
mostly the Starheart.
yeah. Which, after reading this, I want to mention. So you posed that question during Absolute Power number 4, I think it was.
I
What
sure did.
what about Jadestone? Why was he not affected by all this? And I think it's because of the raw willpower. The Star Hearts basically overrode any personality programming that was already in the machinery. So
Yeah,
while the
it
connection,
gave it that
yeah,
magical connections. So
exactly. So
he
while the
made
Zur and
the
our personality and the connection to failsafe was reset, the overall mind and willpower that was already there was not. So that stuck around and basically
see
overtook everything else.
see the way that with the way that I'm seeing it is that the Jade Stone the power of the Jade Stone gave him the decision as to whether or not he wanted to listen to failsafe or not,
Yeah,
and he just disconnected the he blocked his number basically,
yeah. So he
disconnected
felt he
the
missed.
incoming signals and shit. He's like, I
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. That's the way I took it. But either way, whatever happened, whatever the explanation is, I'm really glad to see him here.
Yeah, the overall consensus with Jadestone is people seem to be happy that he's around. I'm happy he's around. I like it. I like the idea of this will powered Amazo fighting on the side of good with the good guys.
A
So how
badass Amazo is a new guardian, yo.
yeah
Uh,
right, guarding not just anything but the central power battery on Earth. Which Hal reveals to the rest of the guys there. Then
Booyakasha.
they ask, "Wait, we have a neo power battery?"
Right?
Right? You got a lot of
Say
explaining to do, Hal.
what?
Um, which yeah, so Hal has a lot of explaining to do. As he said, he's been busy, but then Jadestone takes Guy's ring, crushes it, and gives him a new one. As he says, unauthorized ring, because that ring is still tied to the United Planets Lantern Corps. Um, so now Guy has full authority of his own ring, not tied to any United Planets whatsoever, and now tied, much like Hal's ring, to Earth, which
Yeah,
is
Earth.
fucking dope.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is
Um,
the only Green Lantern battery in existence right now.
yes. Um, I'm curious though, because John made his own ring, and while his ring was fashioned out of Varen's ring,
Hmm.
which was tied to the United Planets, he basically reprogrammed it. So I don't think it is connected in the same way anymore. And its personality is his mom. So, or its AI is his mom. So I imagine his ring might be okay. So since there were
Yes.
seven rings, one for each of the current Earth Lanterns, would that last ring that John would not be taking, would that now go to Shepard?
Interesting.
You know?
Let's
I'm
run our
thinking it might.
numbers. We just recently, I can't remember what issue. I couldn't even tell you if it was this one. I'm sorry. But there was a reference to Kelly, not by name.
No, it was in this issue. I'm gonna get to
It,
that.
okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
So
about.
all right.
But like very
The
grim.
possibilities are kind of wide open at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. It could even go to Kilowog. Who knows? We'll have to see.
The what
Um,
continue,
as it
man.
stands right now, Hal and Guy are the only ones we know of with these new rings from
Yep.
the Earth power battery. So we'll see where it goes. um, yeah. So then they split up.
Wait,
Hal.
who else did Hal showed that to? Because he showed it to somebody, yeah?
Well, he showed it. Carol was there. Hal. Tom Kamaku was already there.
Right, but was it just
And
Carol that
Jade
he was
Stone.
showing it to?
I don't think he. I don't think he intentionally showed it to Carol. I think Carol just kind of showed up.
Not, I mean, like back when like we found out about the battery on Earth.
Yeah, I don't think he like purposely showed it to anybody because he
Okay,
hasn't
all
really
right.
had an opportunity. He's been
All
busy,
right.
like
It's,
you
I
said.
remember. I remember him looking at it and stuff. I thought maybe he had shown it to somebody. But
Yeah,
all right.
like
Okay.
he discovered it, and then shit went down, and he was captured, and right. So
Let's set it
he
up.
was shown the power battery, and then he got that new power, and then went up to space, had that adventure on Oa, and
Mm-hmm.
then ended up back on Earth. Was found by Carol, and then captured by Waller, and then
Mm-hmm.
the next time he was able to go there was during Absolute Power, where he was able to recharge his ring, and then Carol saw it, and Jadestone saw it, and that was it. I'm pretty yeah, because
All
then the
right.
first time he
So
saw it,
it's
he
just
was
him.
alone, but Tom
It's
Kamaku was there.
it's just him and Guy. So there's seven altogether, right?
Seven that were shown initially,
Right. And with
right?
Guy with Hal already having one,
Yeah.
or no?
Well,
Yes. With so
one of those no, so one of those rings was for
so we're
Hal because
missing
he
six
had made his
lanterns.
own, and then he was given one of those seven rings.
Okay. So we've got
I remember
Guy.
it being seven because at the time there were seven members of the Lantern Corps from Earth, so I thought that was very deliberate.
All right. Well, without John, we've got. Let's. Oh, you know what? Finish that. We'll do that after the end of the issue.
Yeah,
Jeez.
we'll see where it goes. All right, so then they split up into groups. Hal, Carol, and Guy are going to go to Thanagar as they want to try and warn the delegates of various worlds on Thanagar, who are going to meet there, about what's going on with Premier Tharos. Um, while Guy and excuse me, Shepard are going to go to Oa and try and figure out what they can and when and if Hal and the others are able to mount an assault on Oa. Guy at least will be an advanced person that can warn them of what's going on if anything is happening before they get there. Which I do find interesting that Shepard would go with him, considering he's not even part of this universe, let alone the United Planets Lantern Corps. And they are very, very strict on anybody outside of their group having a ring. But here we are. I mean, let's face it, nobody else in that team can go with him, but somebody needs to go with him because somebody needs to keep guys straight.
Right. Well,
Um,
like he said, I don't need a babysitter. No, you need a shepherd.
exactly. Which that was, mwah.
Right.
That was
It
perfect.
really
Oh
was.
God, I like Shepard. I love this character.
Yeah.
Hal does say that we shouldn't need too much of an advance notice because set up a distraction to happen, but that's a good idea nonetheless. So they split up and go their own ways. Not before the trio of our guys are able to hoist their wings. Oh my god. Hoist their rings into the sky and recite the oath together again. And my god, is it a hell of an image. I had to smile when I saw that. I'm like, yeah, we're fucking back. We are so back.
Let's let's go, boys. Let's go.
Yeah. All right. So we then jump over to Oa with the Chamber of the Unseeing, the mysterious old men with bandages over their eyes that can supposedly see the future. They are able to see that something is happening on Earth and there's something with the blockade. And they can feel Hal Jordan and others are trying to move past the blockade, but then they sense something else. Because while they can see in 3 dimensions, they can't see in the fourth. And out of the fourth dimension comes Alan Scott, which he describes himself as what you can call a major distraction. Which, hell yeah. When I saw that, I
Right.
was like, oh my god, yes. So then on Thanagar, Hal and Carol and John are speaking to the delegates of Thanagar and Ran, um, and showing basically all the various central power batters from all the other colors have been taken out. Um, Theros is basically running a coup on um, universal politics and peacekeeping, and have replaced the delegates of each nation at the United Planets with members of his own race. I always want to say Daxamites, but it's not Daxamites.
Derlins.
Durlans, thank you. I always know it starts with a D. But before they can get too far into it, Theros appears to actually be there, as when Hal sent advance notice to the delegates of Thanagar and Rand to uh, come together, they let Tharos know what was happening. So Tharos is there, and he has the Darkstar ring on his hand. Um, Hal obviously gets a little too intense, and then the Thanagarians strike out at him. Carol, ever the smart person, fires a blast at a specific delegate as the Thanagarian forces converge on them, and then they have to fight them off. But then we see that the delegate that she blasted then turns into a Durlan, and the Thanagarians then realize that the Lanterns were telling the truth. So then they go for Tharos straight away, but then he uses the power of the Darkstar Ring to just lay waste to everything. Guy and Shepard have made it to Oa, and Guy's first stop is the Science Cells, where he needs to get a certain someone. Um, right, so in the Science Cells, Shepard acts as a bit of a distraction for the guards, so Guy can free none other than Larfleeze from the Science Cells, who does not have his ring, and therefore no Orange Lantern power, but he's still pissed because what's his is his and his and his and his alone, and no one else's, not yours. So
Mine,
he
mine,
wants
mine,
it.
mine, 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 mine. I love
Yep.
Larfleeze.
Me too. All right, so Shepard runs off. It's such a funny fashion. Guy frees Larfleeze, and then as Shepard's getting beat down, Larfleeze then attacks the Science Cell guards, asking where is his light and where is my special, which I can't help but feel was a little bit meta.
Where's my special?
Which I thought that like at first I was thinking where's my light, where's my special, isn't like where's my special power, but I'm thinking where's his like where's my special issue, like where's my special. Green Lantern should have a special. Where's my special? I'm thinking
Where's my
that's
precious?
yeah, as in like he needs a Larfleeze special.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
and
I'd
he
I'd
does.
read a Larfleeze mini.
Me too. The last one was quite good. I liked it. Uh, right. So that happens. Major distractions
Oh
happening
man,
all.
you know what would be good? Larfleeze versus Joe Moline. That would be a damn good little mini, man.
That'd be interesting. It'd be very interesting.
Yep, for sure.
If they ever do a DC Marvel crossover again, I need Larfleeze to fight the Collector. I just want them to run into each other, and Larfleeze's like, "Ooh, what's all this?" And the Collector's like, "That's mine. Don't touch it." He's like, "No, it's not. It's mine." Just like have a fucking brouhaha, like please. Right. So meanwhile, Alan
What the
has
shit?
what?
Nothing. Continue.
Okay. Alan is fighting the Unseeing, and they keep mentioning the Star Hearts and how the power can be theirs, and how he has the Star Heart, and this was unexpected, but they want it, and it could make all their plans come to fruition. Alan realizes he's a
They're like,
little
screw
bit,
this guy. I'm going home.
yeah, he's just a little bit underpowered, but he's able to teleport out of there at the last second. Um, but his distraction did the trick, and everybody was able to get to where they need to be. Larfleeze is making a lot of good work with all the guards and lanterns that come down as he wants his power, and that distraction is working. So Guy and excuse me, Guy and Shepard are able to get his friends out of cold storage, as said by Guy. Um, and if Larfleeze ever does get out, um, get free, and they need to stop him, as Guy says, that's Future Guy's problem. Which that was a sentence I used a lot in my 20s, and that was never a good idea.
It was that reasoning is never a good idea.
Never a good idea. I always said,
No,
hey, that's for future Rob to figure out. When future Rob became present Rob, he always cursed past Rob.
I bet he
Never a good
did.
idea. Yeah.
I'm
God damn it, past Rob. Why did you do this?
I'm familiar with the sentiment.
Yeah. All right. So then Tharos, we see on planet Thanagar, is making pretty decent work against all sorts of people. The delegates trying to escape are then touched by the dark star light and are transformed into radiant dead. John is giving Hal and Carol a very, very quick rundown of what this power is, and just basically don't let it touch you. Turns you into basically a corrupted light zombie. Um, Other Durlan delegates are seeing that Lord Premier Theros has become a bit worse than they ever expected, in their terms, a horror. So they decide to summon the Abomination. And the Abomination is actually Varen, the Regent's son, aka Star Shroud, who somehow is still alive.
Yeah.
And Star Shroud pierces directly into Theros, seemingly killing him. Um, and then Star Shroud and John have some words back and forth. Star Shroud drops, excuse me, Theros, and then John and Hal make a tag team against him, and then capture him in various growing bubbles. As Star Shroud is able to pierce through the construct bubbles, they keep adding more and more layers to keep him intact. We then see that Theros is still alive, power radiating out of him. And as we then hear a rumble from all around them, John looks into the sky as he sees none other than Mogo careening towards the planet, clad in red lantern energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa. What the fuck?
So that continues into Green Lantern 16, where the war rages on. A Green Lantern lives again, and a planet eats another planet. Is
Oh
what's said in
no.
the next box. Civil Core continues at Green Lantern number 16. Holy shit. This was everything a Green Lantern fan wanted. Um, at least it's everything I ever wanted, and I didn't even know it. You get interactions of the OG trio of lanterns with Guy, John and Hal. You get those three together again doing their thing, and that was just terrific. It was early '90s all over again. You get Mogo as a Red Lantern. You get Alan showcasing his power and being an overall badass. You get Carol being the voice of reason as Star Sapphire, which again, awesome and a huge change from her original appearance as Star Sapphire in the '60s and '70s, where her mind was corrupted. She had no voice of reason.
Right?
Yeah, and it's just the whole issue was fantastic. I loved it. I'll admit, when Hal was on Thanagar showing images of the other power batteries, they had the one on Okara, the Orange Lantern power battery, all kind of like broken, but there was a skull in the foreground of that image that looked like Larfleeze, and I thought, don't fucking tell me they killed Larfleeze. I'll be
That
so
better not be
mad.
Larfleeze. Yeah, I remember
Yeah,
that.
yeah, and then like some pages later, they show Larfleeze like, okay, sigh of relief,
Okay.
thank
Phew.
God. uh, right, so it was an exciting issue all around. It really was. Reveals all over. Kilowog is back as a Yellow Lantern. Mogo's a Red Lantern. Tharos is revealed to be an evil dude. Star Shroud is still alive. And I have no idea where this is going to go. The only thing that's missing is Jessica, Kyle, Joe, and Simon. I want to know what the Resistance is up to these days, but we'll have to see. Hopefully, in Green Lantern number 16, because that's the biggest question on my mind is what's happening with Kyle. Right?
I need to know
That's
what's
the
happening. Well, yeah, the biggest
biggest
one is
question.
Kyle. The
Yeah,
biggest one is Kyle, then Just Joe and Simon. And like, come on. Like, I need to know what the hell happens with Kelly.
yeah,
I know nobody else really seems to give a shit, but I want to know what happens. It was an interesting idea. Let's figure out what to do with the character. Let's not let's not Naomi her.
yeah. Which that reminds me, I forgot to mention somewhere. Somebody was mentioning the experiments that Theros was dealing with the girl is all that was
Yeah.
mentioned, but
Uh huh.
that heavily insinuates um,
Kelly.
Kelly. Yeah,
That's okay. I wasn't the only one that thought that. Okay.
but I don't
So
remember where that was.
it was in the Civil Course special.
Oh, I know, but I don't remember where in the issue.
Oh, just somewhere between the covers. Um,
Ah, ah.
it's like fucking Kilowog's a Yellow Lantern, Mogo is a Red Lantern, dude. Jade Stone's the new Guardian. Um, all of that is insane.
Yeah.
Uh, what else is insane is that somebody decided that it was finally a good time to invent the perfect antagonist for Guy Gardner. And now they're
Shepherd.
teaming up. Yes. And now I need a Shepard Gardner buddy cop series.
At the very least, a one-off. I need a book.
No. No, there's plenty of these guys can go do their own thing. I think that it could work for a while. I think it could work just as good as a Batman and Robin book does.
Yeah, Guy and Shepherd.
Hmm.
You don't need a
For
babysitter.
sure.
You need a shepherd. Like, oh,
Yep.
yes.
And if that's not the entire dynamic, that I mean, come on now. That would
Yeah,
just be. And I'm not the world's biggest Guy fan. You know this.
yeah.
You know this. And those two together, that was
That was
that was
perfect.
awesome. Hmm.
Yeah, they're like long lost brothers. They didn't know they needed
Yep.
it. I feel like when because
You can call me Dragon. You can call me Nighthawk. Don't touch my drums.
um
Step
so
brothers.
oh okay, I haven't seen
Okay.
that. All right, so
It's
Jeremy
kind
Adams
of a
and
I have to
Johnson
in this
wrote
house.
this together.
Yes,
Um,
isn't that awesome?
I want to say that whoever came up with that line, and I have a feeling it might have been Jeremy Adams, came up with that line from Shepard. They just giggled to each other. They just like, yes, that's
Like
perfect.
hell yeah. Oh, that's gold, man. That's gold.
Yeah,
That's gold.
yeah. Um, fuck. After this, we really need to get Jeremy Adams back on the show,
And Philip Kennedy Johnson.
and yeah, we need to get both. Hell yeah. I hope
Yeah.
Johnson has more story for the Green Lantern Corps going forward, and he's not just leaving the reins for Jeremy Adams. I like when they're waiting it together. Not that I don't think
Hmm.
Jeremy Adams can handle it going forward. He clearly has the overall story planned out, but I feel like having that subtle extra from Philip Kennedy Johnson really helped elevate the whole big picture. Because as far as we know, this is Philip Kennedy Johnson's last story for the foreseeable future with Green Lanterns. Um,
Yes.
yeah, so we
As
just
far
don't
as we
know.
know, he's just going to be on Batman and Robin, right?
Yeah. Which, speaking of Batman and Robin, you want to change the cover on the picture there, bud?
Oh, yeah, look. I should have done that a little bit ago there.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, this cover from Brad Walker, hell of a cover. See, Joe was not in the issue. Neither was Jessica. Neither was Sinestro. But it's a hell of a cover anyway, and I like the subtle shading of Kilowog. You can tell it's Kilowog, but they're also not giving it away too much.
Uh-huh.
However, he's still got wearing green, so it's a bit of a it's interesting.
Misnomer.
Yeah,
Never trust the cover.
exactly. Yes, Russell, I'm wearing a Spider-Man shirt.
He's finally dressed for the job he
it's
got, not the
it's
one he won't do.
only been 2 hours, and you just noticed I'm wearing this.
Cough wrestling podcast. Cough.
um. Okay,
I like wrestling.
if we get enough of a demand, we'll do a wrestling podcast. How about that?
If we get enough of a demand,
Yeah.
all right. We'll have to. We'll
um.
put. We will. I tell you what. I can. I will. On this episode, we will put up a poll on our Spotify. You'll be able to vote. Should we start a wrestling podcast? Yes or no.
Right on. I
Whichever
like
one
it.
wins, wins.
Deal. And then Russell can put this to bed. But if we
Yes.
start the wrestling podcast, Russell, you got to join us.
Yep. He already said a wrestling podcast has to be 3 people. I think that is a very true thing.
Yeah.
Could be
Okay.
2, better with 3.
Yes. Way
Green
better.
Lantern Civil Corps special.
Yes. um, I know, and I wish Brandon was here, but he's not able to make it today. I know he said he's not a fan of Salvador LaRocca's art, and I saw that a couple times online,
Yeah.
but I didn't hate it. I liked it. Even the people that did were talking about the art did say that like this is the best Salvador LaRocca's art has ever been. Um, I liked it throughout. I thought the art was really well done. I did miss Montos a little bit when the Dark Star constructs came out, and it wasn't that subtle blurriness compared to the rest of the art, which was such a nice touch to give it that like evil energy vibe. um, and the story was just hella good. It was so much excitement, so much to see, so much to absorb, and it's all coming together. All these little pieces that have been laid down for the past year and a half, they're finally getting picked up and put back together, and you're seeing the bigger picture come together and what's going to happen, and it's coming to a head very soon. But there's still a few questions left to answer, and even when they do finish off what's going on with Tharos, there's seeming to be who like there's going to be more to cover after Theros, which I feel like Jeremy Adams has set himself up for a while writing Green Lantern, so I really appreciate that. This issue was exciting. I can't wait to get a physical copy. I'm gonna see if there's any like alternate covers because
Oh,
I,
there are plenty of
uh,
alternate covers.
why'd you have to tell me that? As much as I love this cover, I want to see
I
what they are.
mean, ridiculous
All
amounts of
right, I'm
variants.
gonna look
If
them up right now.
I'm almost positive.
This issue is getting a 9.25 out of 10 from me.
Nice. Nice indeed. Oh shoot. Oops.
So, what did you give it? Oh, this cover. There's four covers in total. Not a ridiculous amount, but
Oh, I thought there was six.
this
Um,
cover from Salvador LaRocca is cool. Except it's missing Simon.
mm,
I don't know how well you can see
oh
that.
no, it's showing up really white.
Yeah.
Kilowog going yellow. Fucking Mogo going red. I mean, we're looking at the obvious manipulation of the emotional spectrum resulting in a form of mind control. Obviously, that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
However, with Derlin's involved, that still doesn't mean that Kilowog really is Kilowog. Definitely said that it seemed like him, but John didn't know either. Then again, John's not Hell.
Yeah.
So, Dark Star's ring's gone. I mean, all of this is just boom, like right out the side, like literally that fucking gif of the head exploding. The art, for the most part, looked really good. The direction is awesome. Kilowog could just be a Deerlin, like I said. I like where this is heading, even if I can't tell where that might be. It just continues to be a great time reading Green Lantern. It's so good. 9 out of 10.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah, indeed. Well then, sir, may I ask what you have for your top three?
Uh, well, let's see now. My top three is going to be
Oh no, wait. Green Lanterns. We got 7 rings.
right.
We got Hal. We got Guy. Those are already accounted for,
Yes.
right? We're gonna have Joe,
Yeah.
right? Because she lost her ring, even though it's a
Yeah. So
different
she
ring. She
she
still
needs a
lost her
new.
ring, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's gonna have a regular ring. So Hal, Guy, Joe, Jess,
Yeah.
Simon.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Kyle.
Potentially, but we'll have to see what happens.
We'll have to see what happens, right? But so that's like 5.5. Who else is there that's been tied to our local Green Lanterns lately that isn't Kelly?
Shepard.
Shepherd, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Yes, all right. So Kyle maybe, and if not Kyle, then Kelly. Or
Oh. Ooh.
or what if Carol becomes a dual ring wielder
Oh.
or becomes a Green Lantern?
No. I don't like that.
I don't like
I
the
mean,
idea of it either, but
it could, but like I don't like it.
buddy cop everybody up.
uh, what if? And I don't like this either. Like it'd be interesting, but I also don't like it because it would kind of mess with things a little bit. What if the power of the Starheart ends up getting taken away completely, and then Alan needs a new ring?
So he does have his powers back.
Yes.
Obviously, he
Yes.
he
But well,
he
what
is
if
he.
like the Unseeing is able to get a hold of the power of the Starheart and takes it away, and then it's just gone, and then Alan is left without his powers.
Then we'd lose Jadestone as well.
Well, no, because like Jadestone's power source is like self-replicating. He might have even been powered up by the central power battery at this point. I don't know. I'm gonna say like while it was initially powered by the Star Heart, I want to say this the force of willpower is just powering him at this point. But the Star Heart energy would be taken strictly out of or out of Alan, specifically him
Hmm.
and the ring, and that Star Heart power would be gone out of Alan and his ring. And then he would need a new ring, so he gets the seventh ring. But I don't know how I feel about that. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, I kind of do too. I like the idea of the Star Heart because I feel like having not gone into it too much, there's a lot of stuff that can be gone into. It's a wide open field to get into that if we start getting Alan Scott into more of a magic based atmosphere.
Yeah,
I think I think it would be cool to have him back in that, even so far as being a part of a Justice League Dark team.
yeah.
That's just me though. Okay, so that's our seven.
I yeah. For now, I'm gonna say Shepard. I hope he sticks around for a while. I like him.
Do you think Kyle's gonna end up being a Green Lantern, or do you think he's gonna be something else first?
I think he's going to be something else.
I really hope he's gonna be something else.
We all know. We all fucking know what that something else could be. I mean to say.
He's all over the place, and I am a okay with that. I love it. I love it. I love it. Russell will have to cover AEW. Rob will start watching AEW on his lunch break with you.
So, so all right. So with that, let's get to our top three and favorite moment of the week.
All right. I interrupted you. Should I let you go first?
May as well. I'm already here. So number three, I'm gonna give it to Batman and Robin. Number two is going to be Action Comics. They take it with a grain of salt because they scored the same, so they're pretty much interchangeable. They're tied for second. Number one is definitely Green Lantern Corps, Civil Corps, or it's just no Green Lantern Civil Corps special. Um, Hella exciting. I can't wait to see what happens next. And my favorite moment is going to be oh shit, I had it in my head. Oh yeah, so it's going to be for now Shepherd and guys saying no, you don't need a babysitter, you need a shepherd. Like, oh yeah, fucking tell him what for. It's the one guy that can actually give Guy Gardner a chance to shut the fuck up.
Right on.
Without he punches him in the face with his words, and that's it.
That's exactly what Guy Gardner needs.
Yeah.
Mine was really similar. I also had two that were interchangeable, but gave let the art come into play just a little bit to make the tiebreaker happen. Number three, I gave it to Batman and Robin. Number 14. Number two, I gave it to the Civil Corps special. And then number one, I gave to Action Comics. Another number 1070. Those two were pretty much damn near the same. My favorite moment is actually going to be in the core special as well. That cool ass moment in the splash with Hal Jordan and Guy saying the oath together. That was sick. It looked amazing. I really, really liked it. I liked it a lot.
I agree. In fact, I'm gonna share that in Discord right now.
You're going to share what in
That
Discord?
that image.
Ah. Well, what an image to share.
Right? All right. Well, I won't be here Saturday for the AEW pay per view because I'm going to my sister's for Thanksgiving. So until next week,
Damn Canadian. It's
to all my
not
Canadian
Thanksgiving.
friends out there, happy Thanksgiving. I know it's a bit of a touchy subject, especially these days, but you can have your turkey and eat it.
You're going to have your turkey and eat it too. All right. Well, next week we're looking at Nightwing number 118, Batman Superman World's Finest number 32, Action Comics 1071, Wonder Woman number 14, Titans number 16, Green Lantern number 16, Catwoman number 69, Batman and Robin Year 1 number 1, Dark Knights of Steel All Winter number 4, Batman Full Moon number 1, which is going to rekindle the romance with Zatanna, Jenny Sparks number 3, and Multiverses Collision Detected number 3. Be here next week because we will be covering that just like we do every week. Same geek time, same geek channel. That is the show. Thank you everybody for watching. We're getting out of here, so you'll have to as well. Be careful out there, and remember, in the Geek Matrix, everybody has a home. In the Geek Matrix,